Ladies and gentlemen, tonight on the News Hour, I want to tell you why Team Rhea is completely cornered, desperate, and in self-implosion mode. Because the pressure is growing. Trapped deep in the drug nexus with no escape route, Rhea, in a last-ditch attempt, has now gone after SSR's family once again. In a seemingly malicious complaint filed by Rhea and her lawyer, she has targeted Sushant's sister for a perfectly legal prescription obtained from a doctor during COVID times through a tele-prescription method. Rhea is now using this prescription to malign a family that is already mourning the loss of Sushant under mysterious circumstances. In a fierce counterattack, Sushant Singh Rajput's family lawyer demolished each claim made by Rhea and a statement that she's currently giving in the, yes, ladies and gentlemen, lo and behold, the same police station, the Bandra police station, which has time to take Rhea's complaint but had no time to react on the family's complaint in February when they were seeking protection for Sushant Singh Rajput. Listen in to Senior Counsel Vikas Singh as he tears apart this move of Team Rhea once again.
Supreme Court very clearly has said in the judgment that if there is any complaint with regard to the death of Sushant Singh Rajput, that also will be investigated by the CBI. So this is a clear attempt to somehow keep the Mumbai police alive in this matter, so that they can do some mischief and ensure that there is the family of Sushant Singh Rajput does not get justice in this matter. अगर बांद्रा पुलिस इस कंप्लेंट को एक्सेप्ट करती है तो वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट के ऑर्डर का उल्लंघन होगा और वो कंटेम्प्ट ऑफ कोर्ट होगा, और अगर बांद्रा पुलिस अगर इसको आगे बढ़ाना चाहेगी तो हम कंटेम्प्ट ऑफ कोर्ट लगा करके सुप्रीम कोर्ट में इस मामले को आगे बढ़ाएंगे. The complaint itself has inconsistency because in the first part of the complaint she says that she had seen that Priyanka was advising him to take some medicine which was not in sync with the prescription that she had got for Sushant, and that is why she left the household. But suddenly in the end of the complaint she says that she has come to know now about these WhatsApp messages. Lastly, this is not a cognizable offence at all for the police to even accept this complaint. This complaint should not have even been accepted by the police. Teleconsultation guidelines. ये टेलीकंसल्टेशन गाइडलाइंस मेडिकल काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया के गाइडलाइंस. इस गाइडलाइंस के बेसिस में कोई एफआईआर या कोई कंप्लेंट दर्ज नहीं हो सकता. इस गाइडलाइन के अंतर्गत जो भी कंप्लेंट करने की कोशिश की है वो बिल्कुल मेंटेनेबल नहीं है. मतलब उसका पुलिस इस मामले में पुलिस का कोई जुरिस्डिक्शन नहीं बनता इस मामले में.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you why Rhea's complaint seems an attempt to subvert the Supreme Court verdict, according to the lawyer of Sushant's family. Even as she sits in Mumbai police station in Bandra filing her bogus complaint, as Vikas Singh says, she must not forget the fact that the Supreme Court had clearly mentioned that any new case registered in Mumbai or anywhere else connected with this particular mysterious death of Sushant Singh Rajput must be probed only and only by the CBI. The court even directed that any new case in relation to Sushant's death, which will be probed by CBI, should have the only jurisdiction. Is this another attempt by Team Rhea to involve the Mumbai police and scuttle the CBI investigation? That really is the big question. So let me tell you why Rhea's complaint falls flat. She makes 6 specific charges in her complaint to the Mumbai police. Here's a pointed question to her and her legal team. Her first charge: Sister Priyanka unlawfully prescribed psychotropic drugs, but will Rhea's first lawyer why she fed recreational drugs like marijuana to SSR? If she's so worried about psychotropic drugs, why was she himself giving him drugs? Charge number 2. As per the complaint, Sushant died 5 days after the sister prescribed these drugs. The question really is, wasn't Ria administrating recreational drugs despite the knowledge of Sushant Singh Rajput's medical health, his mental health, that she's been waxing eloquent about? Ria even went on to say that the prescription was prepared by the sister and Dr. Tarun Kumar was false and fabricated, a forgery charge. But doesn't Ria have the proof that the prescription was false and fabricated? If she had, she should have demonstrated it. Charge number 4. Drugs prescribed by the doctor cannot be done electronically as per the Medical Council norms. Now let me ask Ria and her legal team that in COVID-19 times, is it really unusual for tele-prescriptions to be done by doctors? I thought that was legally allowed. And her last allegation, Sushant's sister and doctor conspired to prescribe unlawful substances. But will Miss Ria Chakravarti answer on how it is a conspiracy when SSR himself consented to his sister and doctor for prescribing drugs, in fact sought their help? Ria in her complaint also said that it is imperative that actions of Priyanka Singh must be investigated. But why is she so keen on an investigation when she broke up with Sushant on 8th of June and left his home? And why has she woken up almost 50 days after the FIR named her as accused number 1 by the family? Is this her way of getting back? That's the question. So, ladies and gentlemen, one legitimate question at the end of all of these facts, and that is simply this: is the accused number 1, Ria's last defense, limited to this complaint now? That's the question and the debate. Ria maligns SSR family, coming up on the other side.
You were watching the News Hour at 9, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
And joining me tonight, Shweta Shalini, spokesperson of the BJP, Ishkaran Bhandari, advocate, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, Varun Singh, briefing lawyer in the SSR case from the family side, Manasvi Thapar, lawyers, Surendra Chauhan, advocate, and Tehseen Poonawalla. And Tehseen Poonawalla, I want to ask you the first question. Ria Chakravarti has agreed to procuring drugs, arranging drugs, also administering drugs to Sushant Singh Rajput. She's also agreed, and her WhatsApp messages to Mr. Mahesh Bhatt clearly show that she was very happy to be out of the relationship with Sushant Singh Rajput, and she went away. Now, why should she turn around and once again start a smear campaign against the family? And why should she go running every time to the Bandra police station, Santa Cruz police station, almost as if Mumbai police is her only savior at this point in time? ऐसा क्या है मुंबई पुलिस में, तहसीन पूनावाला?
Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra, ma'am. I'm going to be very brief. There was a book called 50 Shades of Grey. This pathetic, perverted government of Narendra Modi, sir, and Amit Shah, sir, are going after 50 grams of grass. And it is handcuffing us, the people of India, and throwing us into a submissive position because it doesn't want to discuss the 50 years of bad economy. But let me come to your question. So she made a complaint with the Mumbai police. They can transfer it to CBI. As the next allegation that you made, where I'd like to end, anything that is made, if first of all, I don't know if any confessions were made before the Narcotics Bureau, but any confession before of the authority is not admissible in a court of law. And even if there were such hard confessions as you're saying, why isn't the Narcotics Bureau arresting her? Because this government, like 50 Shades of Grey, is going after 50 grams of grass. 50 grams of grass. They did not know who got 300 kgs of RDX in India, and they're going after 50 grams of grass. That is Narendra Modi's government in a nutshell.
Ishkaran Bhandari, desperate attempt by Ria Chakravarti and her lawyer?
Navika, I am not surprised with Tehseen coming up with 50 Shades of Grey. What one reads, one quotes from that. I wish he had quoted from the Constitution of India, but then that would be expecting a bit too much. The point here is that, and there are some very brief points, the Constitution of India, the laws of India do not dismiss, let's say, 50 grams of narcotics also which he seems to dismiss as people who read 50 Shades of Grey, have 50 grams of narcotics. It's all in the same line of argument. We belong to Bollywood. We support Bollywood. We have 50 grams, big deal. We supply at parties, big deals. We corrupt youth, big deals. We want to propagate 50 Shades of Grey on national political channels, big deal. So that is all okay. That's their mindset. That's not the mindset of India. That's not the mindset of Bharat. But I will not argue with Tehseen's mindset. Let's come to the case. What is the case? The judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court is very clear. And the day the judgment came, I wish instead of lifting it, you had read it also and not quoted from 50 Shades of Grey, but it's your choice. So the point here is that the Supreme Court is extremely clear that if anything connected with Sushant Singh Rajput's case, a new FIR is registered, it has to go to CBI. So what is Riya doing and why is she doing it? One, it is a classical strategy to blame the victim. We saw the PR end of it in Rajdeep Sardesai interview, where she was blaming the mother, the father, the sisters, and Sushant himself. That was the PR end of the strategy. And today we are seeing the legal end of the strategy, filing a complaint on the family. The law will take its own course on that. But the more important part is, at one point she had not trusted Mumbai police and asked for a CBI inquiry on social media. Why does Mumbai police apparently become her last refuge in this case? What is it with Mumbai police? What is it with Bandra police station that she keeps running to it, keeps asking for support from Bandra police station? The answer to that, I assure you, will not be in 50 Shades of Grey. The answer to that will be very, very, very black and very murky.
Let me reply. I have a right to reply, and I'll only take one line. Yes, I have read the Constitution of India, and I've read 50 Shades of Grey. The fact is, I have to read perverted stuff for this perverted government, because this government has not read the Constitution. Let me apprise my dear friends out here, Ishkaran Bhandari, that CBD oil in this country is legal, and the use of marijuana for medicinal purposes was recommended by Maneka Gandhi in this government. So please start reading the Constitution. Don't come and talk nonsense on national TV, because clearly you haven't read anything except for Deen Dayal Upadhyay WhatsApp University.
Mr. Tehseen Poonawalla, I'm coming to you, Ishkaran Bhandari. Mr. Tehseen Poonawalla, your love for 50 Shades of Grey is so touching. Perverted, X-rated, literature seems the perverted, X-rated literature is clearly something that you've grown up on, which is why you support it so much. But I want to ask you, forget the Constitution, Supreme Court का verdict ही पढ़ लेते मेरे भाई. ऐसी कौन सी उसमें इतनी मोहब्बत है कि मुंबई पुलिस के बिना सांस नहीं आ रही, गुजारा नहीं हो रहा? इश्करन भंडारी,
मैं जवाब दे देता हूँ एक लाइन में.
It is my answer. It is my answer.
Sorry.
Before you, let me. I do not know tomorrow Tehseen will come up with some other X-rated site that he reads to answer the government. That is his choice. He would have his library seems to be exhaustive on soft porn and probably stronger porn than that. I don't want to get into that. मुझे माफ करो. But let us come to this case. Please understand the courts also rejected and gave remand of Shobhit Chakrabarti. I hope he understands judgments of courts. I hope he understands why a remand is given after a judicial mind is applied. I hope he understands what is the Supreme Court of India and what are the laws and what are the provisions. Because what happens is, and enough medical science shows how porn addles your brain, corrupts your brain, and especially 50 Shades mixed with 50 grams, and we have a Tehseen Poonawalla.
well, let me get in Manasvi Thapar. Manasvi Thapar, we don't want any answers in grey. We want answers in black and white. And black and white answers were not given by the Mumbai police. I want to ask you, why is there this desperation to somehow willy-nilly keep the Mumbai police involved in this case? And almost as an afterthought, the lawyer of Riya Chakrabarti says, oh, we will transfer it. अरे इतना लंबा स्टेटमेंट दे रहे हो, why couldn't the Mumbai police and the Bandra police station just tell them, go and approach the CBI? After all, the CBI is sitting in the DRDO guest house right there in Mumbai conducting this case. You could go and register a case, give a complaint right there. Manasvi Thapar, I want to ask you, is this not another route to subvert the investigation process?
Good evening, Navika ji. See, this
as per the para 41 of the judgment which was out by the Supreme Court, definitely this will directly go to the CBI only. The complaint would be registered by the Mumbai police, Bandra police. It will be transferred to the CBI. There are no two ways about it. So that is why the Supreme Court has very clearly nailed it out. Any future FIRs or complaints coming out of this particular case are going to be handled by the CBI. So there cannot be two ways out of it. It's very clearly laid out by the Supreme Court in this particular case. But do we want to stop Rhea from her rights? No, definitely we do not want. This is a country of laws, and definitely every person has their own rights to defend themselves. And if there is something they want to report, they have that right. We cannot deny that right. And she is very much within her right. And further, if we go a step ahead, NCB, ED, CBI, all are investigating her, and none of them have till date arrested her. And none of them have till date said that the collusion between the Mumbai police was there. So right now, we are in the middle of the investigation, though the drug angle is very much there. The money angle, till now, we could not see anything. The murder or the abater, which Rhea was told by all the media houses, is still not very clear. So let us trust the investigating authorities and let us not deny the accused number one, Rhea Chakrabarti, with her own rights which are given by the Constitution of India. And in a lawful society, we should all respect that. And she should have her all defenses out. And let the truth be out. The truth can be Rhea is not the one who has killed or abated Sushant. This can also be the truth. And if this is the truth, who would be responsible
You love
for
truth.
her character assassination?
You love the truth. Let me put out the truth. And Dr. Anand Ranganathan, I want you to pay attention to my fact check number one. And I want to tell you, this is not the first smear campaign of Rhea Chakrabarti against the family of Sushant Singh Rajput. Number one, she called for a complaint 40 days later after the FIR has been filed. That's an afterthought. She accused Sushant's sister Priyanka of molesting her in the past. She also accused that Sushant was estranged with his father and his sisters. And now it's coming to light that he was in touch with his father after Rhea had left, and even in Rhea's presence in June itself. She also said that the murder theory has been floated by the sisters and the family to claim some insurance, and now everybody knows it as a fact that Sushant Singh Rajput had no insurance cover. She also said that the prescription is illegal completely. And of course, she's gone on record in several interviews where, she's been the victim. What has she said? Bhai, Sushant Singh Rajput drugs bhi leta tha. Sushant Singh Rajput was mentally ill also. But he's the man I loved. He's the man who I dumped and went away on the 8th of June and then never bothered to turn around and look back. And of course, there are theories that 12th of June she came back into the house. Not proven yet, but we are waiting for the last word from investigators. I want to ask you, what is her legal right and what is the legal right of the deceased Sushant Singh Rajput and his family?
Yeah, good evening, Navika. No, you're making some really good points, but I have to also, before I come to the thrust of my thesis on this issue, I have to say that I confess that in my weaker moments, even I have read 50 Shades of Grey like Tehseen has. And one of the shades of grey which Tehseen has taken to heart, which is present in that book, is deriving pleasure out of self-flagellation, which is what Tehseen seems to be doing every night. अरे भैया 50 ग्राम ड्रग्स पकड़ी जाएं या 50 किलो ड्रग्स पकड़ी जाएं, a crime is a crime. This is not some family land deal where the minimum amount of deal for the money to be obtained is 5,000 acres. Besides, now Navika, let me come back to this topic. This case is taking a decisive turn and away from the investigation that of course will take its own pace no matter how much it is pilloried for its speed or absence thereof. It is important to state matters with crystal clear objectivity. So please permit me, just give me 1 minute. Let me quote from the SC judgment on this matter, because no one till now, even the lawyers on your panel, have quoted the Supreme Court verbatim. I quote it. Quote, in future, if commission of cognizable offence under section 1752 of CRPC is determined, the possibility of parallel investigation by the Mumbai police cannot be ruled out. In the event of a new case is registered at Mumbai on the same issue, in the fitness of things, it would be appropriate if the latter case too gets investigated by the same agencies on the strength of these court's order. Therefore, while according approval for the ongoing CBI investigation, if any other case is registered on the death of the actor Sushant Singh Rajput and the surrounding circumstances of his unnatural death, the CBI is directed to investigate the new case as well, unquote. Now, just 30 seconds. Please note the operative phrases here. Quote, new case being registered on, quote, the same issue and, quote, cognizable offence under section 1752 of CRPC. Now, obviously, Navika, Ms. Chakrabarty's lawyers have also read the SC judgment as carefully as the lawyers of Sushant's family. They want to involve the Mumbai police, whatever their reason may be. And if a case is registered by the accused not on the same issue or using IPC sections that are other than those stated by the Supreme Court, I believe they would not be in contempt of the SC judgment.
Well, I want to ask you, Anand Ranganathan, why, you know, I know you quote the Supreme Court judgment very well, but why would somebody be so desperate to bring in the Mumbai police into this entire case? It seems like desperation. Bhai, kuch bhi kar lo, Mumbai police ko le aao. I want you to tell our viewers in simple language, what does this signify?
Yes, Navika, I, as you know, I am always reticent to delve into opinion making, especially in criminal matters and matters of law. That's why I quoted verbatim from Supreme Court judgment. But here, please allow me to maybe little bit make an opinion. I believe you are correct. I believe that this is a war between now two legal teams, and one team is desperate, even though that same team wanted the CBI to come in and investigate the matter. The same team had no faith in the Mumbai police. But now, given that the other side is now batting for the CBI and the investigation, this team seems to be somehow wanting to have Mumbai police on its side.
Well, let me ask Surinder Chauhan, advocate. Surinder Chauhan, what is it that the Mumbai police, who Riya had no trust in, which is why she tagged and tweeted the Home Minister of the country ke bhai CBI investigation kara do. Now, just look at it. 3 hours and more, she's been sitting at the Bandra police station recording her statement. And there have been many critics who've come out and said, why does she go to these police stations every now and then? Koi excuse hai kya? Does she go there? Does she get some safe lines to talk to the people who, you know, because everybody says Riya is the puppet and there are puppeteers around who are running this entire game. So does she, because all her phones may be watched by CBI, by ED, by the Narcotics Control Bureau. So does she go to the police station to actually file a complaint, or maybe talk to some powerful people on a safe line? Simple question.
Well, you have, Navika, you have raised 2-3 points in one question. Firstly, she has all the right to go to the police station. She has got all the right. What Anand Ranganathan was reading from the judgment has never said that you can't go to the police station. You can give your complaint to the police station. Police, if feels that it's a cognizable offence, they can register the case, but they cannot investigate. The rider is there. So that can go to CBI. Now, any complaint going to CBI straight away, CBI cannot take a cognizance of that complaint, because there is a nitty-gritty in CBI manual that you have to have a preliminary inquiry, then secondary inquiry, and then the FIR is registered. RC case is registered. So it's a local police station. She has gone to the police. Why so much of hue and cry? And furthermore, if she is levelling any allegation or accusations against anyone, the police is to see prima facie if they are cognizable offences, they will register and they will hand over the investigation to CBI. Very simple in that. So there is nothing, no illegality in that thing.
Varun Singh, as simple as he's making it sound?
I don't really think so. In fact, there is a prior judgment, in fact, which has not been quoted so far, that my voice is echoing. Am I audible properly?
Yeah,
because
we can hear you. We can hear you.
So 2006, in the Jacob Matthew judgment, the Honorable Supreme Court, qua medical negligence and for doctors, has specifically laid out that there can be no simpliciter registration of FIR against the doctors, and therefore the MCI was from then on has been told to look into any kind of complaints against them. So as the jurisdiction aspect is of course once covered from the Supreme Court judgment, and also from the point of view from Jacob Matthew, which has also been subsequently noted in Lalita Kumari judgment also, where one specific criteria of medical professionals has been culled out in para 120 to state that a preliminary inquiry is necessary, and subsequently the MCI will also look into this, not the police. So if there is a medical negligence, it has to be an approval of the MCI, and MCI will give a show cause notice, and then thereafter, if at all there's something found to be illegal, only then thereafter some action could be taken. So this action of writing to Mumbai police for that reason is also not proper, for the simple reason that any medical negligence related activity or anything related to doctors, because in 2006 itself it was noted that there's a lot of harassment which doctors go through, and they can't perform their actions properly if they are under the scrutiny of a criminal case. So just to give that cushion to them, this whole rule had come out, and it has been further protected by the MCI that every complaint of these natures will have to be looked into by the MCI, and only MCI.
So Mr. Tehseen Poonawalla, Mr. Tehseen Poonawalla, is the legal team of Riya Chakravarti not aware of the law as it stands on this particular case? अरे भाई, डॉक्टर्स के खिलाफ कंप्लेन करनी है तो MCI जाना पड़ता है, मुंबई पुलिस नहीं.
Sure, ma'am, I'll answer that, but just one quick clarification. Another difference between you and me is you read books in your weak moments and probably enjoy self-gratification, as you rightly put it. I read books to increase knowledge. Therefore, I even read the NDPS Act.
He increases his knowledge.
Section 2,
well,
section 2,
I'm not making a moral judgment, but if you're increasing your knowledge through 50 Shades of Grey, Tehseen Poonawalla, good luck to you. Good luck to you.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'll tell you why I increase my knowledge to that, because that is exactly what this government is practicing, because it's got the media on its whip tight handcuffed and is actually submitting them into submission.
Accept it, move on.
Dr. Anand Ranganathan, I mean, forget you may be on the other side of the fence as far as your ideology is concerned, but you must give him a recommended reading list. You know, if he is going to be reading 50 Shades of Grey to increase his knowledge, we are in serious trouble.
Please allow me to finish. Anand, don't interrupt me. Yes, I read
there is also Navika, there is also a 6-volume set of Confessions of a Barmaid.
You had your say, allow me to finish. You had your say, allow me to give it back. Two things. Yes, ma'am, I read it to increase my knowledge, because that is exactly what this government is doing to the media, where it's handcuffed the media, gagged it, and is dominating it into submission. Let me come to the point, Anand.
I'm sorry. This government has gagged the media? Well, let me tell you, Anil Deshmukh, retired police commissioners of Mumbai are currently in the Bombay High Court to gag the media. What are you talking about, Mr. Tehseen Poonawalla? That's why I said, you read books like this, you'll get knowledge like this only.
I'll answer that, ma'am. We are discussing 50
Navika,
grams
that
of
was a
grass,
whiplash.
Wait. No, let me finish.
What are you finishing? What are you finishing, Mr. Tehseen Poonawalla? You're gagging the media as much as you accuse Mr. Modi of gagging the media. You are reading 50 Shades of Grey to increase your knowledge. Well, Manasvi Thapar, on both these counts, certainly the Maharashtra government has no leg to stand on. Tehseen Poonawalla, you've put both your feet into your mouth just for your own sake. Just keep quiet for the rest of the debate. Let Manasvi Thapar take it. 1 minute. Manasvi Thapar.
NDPS Act 1985. Read it. And I understand that people love flexible positions, but please, let's be flexible. We have 50-year low economy. 50 grams of grass is not going to destroy this country. Focus on the economy.
All right. You are welcome to your parties. Go get 50 grams of whatever and we'll inform the NCB. And then we'll talk. Manasvi Thapar.
Navika ji, see, as of now, I have said it before also, the Mumbai police has been made as Mumbai police is acting as a shield to Riya. If that is so, when the fourth pillar of the democracy, the media is behind Riya 24/7, every movement of Riya has been recorded. I don't see any kind of collusion there. She has the right to give any kind of report. which is a FIR or a complaint to the Mumbai police.
Mr.
And that is what
Manasvi
she has done.
Thapar,
That is-
Mr. Manasvi
Hanji.
Thapar, all right, I agree with you. I concede to you that Riya Chakrabarti has the right to go to any police station, sit there for as long as she wants and put as many complaints as she wants. I only want you to tell me what is the right of the family of Sushant Singh Rajput and what is their right vis-a-vis the February complaint that they put in to the Bandra police station, to the DCP over there, where no action was taken. उनकी right की तो आप कोई बात नहीं करते?
Thank you, Navika ji, for this question. I think this is a very vital question in this particular investigation. Also, why? Because till date, CBI has not given any kind of summons to those officials who were investigating this case, and those and that DCP, Zone 2 DCP, have still not recorded his statement that why. And the question is why he didn't act on this particular information given by one of the officials from one of the relative who's also a police officer to him. So the onus is now on CBI that what is the collusion between the Mumbai police and Riya. We need to know the truth, and the truth would only come out if summons and investigation on the Mumbai police is also done. And why is CBI protecting Mumbai police? Now the
Well,
question
Shweta Shalini, all those who wanted the case closed on day one, on 14th of June, today are becoming holier than thou, coming out and asking for the answers to the collusion of the Mumbai police. All this while they've been saying, Riya ne to kuch kiya nahi, unnecessarily the media is going after her. Every time we question any part of this, we are making a villain out of Riya Chakrabarti. We are tarnishing her image. We are carrying out a media trial. And now suddenly they want to know what's wrong with the Mumbai police. Can't they see?
So thank you, Navika, for finally getting me in. I have been patiently waiting for my turn. A lot has been talked about the reading list of 50 Shades of Grey. I think one of the things that I want to tell Tehseen is when he started off with Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra, it is these kind of people who say Jai Maharashtra and then turn around and give names and call names to women. Coming back to your question, see, there was a way that the Mumbai police was acting. A lot has been talked about the legal front and almost everyone has talked about it. So I know Vikas Singh ji is quite capable to go ahead and file contempt of court in the case that Riya is registering at the moment, and the court will listen. But coming back to the moral stand, see, Mumbai police was acting on behest of somebody, and you need to understand that Riya also is a pawn who has been acting on behest of somebody. Exactly on the same lines that Mumbai police was acting. She has tried to gag the media. She has tried to cry foul. She has done the drama. She has played the victim card. And finally now, which is the last hope, the blame game, this is exactly what she is doing. Look at the moral front. She basically earlier said that Priyanka, the sister, wanted to molest me. Now she is saying something else about Priyanka. Earlier on, she said that Sushant had mental issues. But later on, she went ahead and said, no, he had drug issues. I mean, for everything, she has taken a U-turn, including the fact that I wanted CBI to intervene. And she went ahead and requested Amit Shah ji and then took a complete U-turn and came back to
Absolutely, Shweta Shalini. Double speak, flip-flops, all the way, everything contradicting the other. In fact, today she spent... in total, between yesterday and today, Riya Chakrabarti has spent 14 hours at the Narcotics Control Bureau office in Ballad Estate in Mumbai. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. is her date again with the Narcotics Control Bureau. Today, she told the Bureau that she has procured, she has arranged and she has administered drugs. But she said she's never had any drugs herself. Well, I want to put out a few facts. And these facts and the contradictions are right in front of you. In 2017, we put out the chat she had with Gaurav Arya, where she was talking about, I've had LSD once or twice, I've had MDMA once or twice, I normally have, I think she used the word bud or something. So that, what happens to that if 2017 she was having and saying all this on WhatsApp? Are those WhatsApps false? Well, she's accepted it, that these WhatsApps were written by her. Then how can they be false? Let's also look at in March 16, 2020, her conversation with her friend Simone Kambata, where she's telling her, I'm in Bhubaneswar, this is the best place, the best weed is grown here in Bhubaneswar, the best supplies come from here. Well, for somebody who has never had drugs, how does she know? I didn't even know that drugs were called weed and bud and boom and whatever. But she's talking about the best weed coming in from Bhubaneswar. Then she says, I only smoked cigarettes. Well, in a Team SSR chat in July 2019, she says, do be required. Gave buds also scored by Miranda to SSR. So, all the time, do be required for whom? Do be required for Shovik? Do be required for her father? Do be required for SSR? Or do be required for herself? The question really here is, does truth have too many versions? For me, everything about truth is black and white. There are no shades of grey in truth. And in this case, however much Rhea Chakrabarti and her legal team may want to twist the facts, there is only one truth. And we do hope the 3 investigation agencies get down to that truth sooner than later to answer all the questions being asked by SSR warriors. Well, that's the debate number 1 on the News Hour tonight. As I thank my panelists, taking a short break. On the other side, of course, India with Kangana. That's the debate that's coming up.